Genesis 20 recounts a story about Abraham, Sarah, and Abimelech, king of Gerar. Here's a summary of the chapter. Before we start, we'd like to ask for your support. If you enjoy our video, please hit the like button. This will help us reach more people and create content for you. Now let's get started with today's video. Genesis 20. Abraham, Sarah, and Abimelech. Introduction and context. The 20th chapter of Genesis focuses on the patriarch Abraham, his wife Sarah, and their encounter with Abimelech, the king of Gerar. This episode is set after the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 19. Abraham moves south to Gerar, a Philistine city near the Negev desert, and once again presents his wife Sarah as his sister. This chapter provides rich insights into themes such as divine protection, human fear, the sovereignty of God, and moral integrity. Abraham's journey to Gerar. Genesis 20 opens with Abraham moving to the region of Gerar. The Bible doesn't explicitly explain why Abraham moves, but it may be related to his nomadic lifestyle, constantly moving his herds to find adequate pasture and water. After the traumatic events of Sodom and Gomorrah's destruction, it's also possible that Abraham sought to relocate to a safer or more peaceful area. Now Abraham moved on from there into the region of the Negev and lived between Kadesh and Shur. For a while, he stayed in Gerar. Genesis 20 verse 1. Gerar, a Philistine city ruled by King Abimelech, represents a new setting for Abraham, but the circumstances quickly become familiar. Abraham, concerned for his safety, tells the people of Gerar that Sarah is his sister rather than his wife. Abraham's fear and deception. Abraham's decision to introduce Sarah as his sister reflects a recurring theme in his journey: his fear that foreign rulers will kill him to take Sarah as their wife. This isn't the first time Abraham has done this. Earlier in Genesis 12, Abraham made the same decision when he traveled to Egypt. There, Pharaoh took Sarah into his household, and God intervened to protect her and preserve his promise to Abraham. And there Abraham said of his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." Then Abimelech king of Gerar sent for Sarah and took her. Genesis 20 verse 2. In the ancient world, kings had the power to take women into their households, particularly if they were single. Abraham's fear seems understandable in light of the cultural and political context. However, his deception creates a moral dilemma. By presenting Sarah as his sister, he risks not only her safety but also the fulfillment of God's covenant promise that Sarah would bear his child, Isaac. God's intervention. A divine dream. King Abimelech, believing Sarah to be unmarried, takes her into his household. However, God intervenes swiftly to prevent Abimelech from committing an unintended sin. In a dream, God appears to Abimelech and warns him of the gravity of the situation. But God came to Abimelech in a dream one night and said to him, "You are as good as dead because of the woman you have taken. She is a married woman." Genesis 20 verse 3. God's warning to Abimelech underscores his protection over Sarah and the covenant promise he made to Abraham. God's intervention through dreams is a recurring biblical theme, reflecting his sovereignty and his communication with both the righteous and unrighteous. Here, God's appearance to Abimelech demonstrates his justice, ensuring that Sarah's purity is preserved. Abimelech's plea for innocence. Abimelech responds to the dream with a plea of innocence. He argues that he acted in good faith, having been misled by Abraham's deception. Abimelech's words reveal his integrity, as he expresses shock and concern over the potential sin. Now Abimelech had not gone near her, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Did he not say to me, 'She is my sister,' and didn't she also say, 'He is my brother'? I have done this with a clear conscience and clean hands." Genesis 20 verses 4 to 5. Abimelech's defense highlights a key aspect of this chapter: the importance of moral integrity. Though he is a pagan king, Abimelech demonstrates a respect for God's justice and expresses concern for his actions. His appeal to God's fairness, "Will you destroy an innocent nation?" echoes the questions Abraham asked when interceding for Sodom in Genesis 18. This parallel shows that even those outside of Abraham's covenant relationship with God recognize divine justice. God's response: restoring integrity. God acknowledges Abimelech's innocence and affirms that he has kept Abimelech from sinning against him. This highlights God's role in preserving both Sarah's purity and Abimelech's moral integrity. Though Abimelech had acted unknowingly, God prevented any further wrongdoing. Then God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know you did this with a clear conscience, and so I have kept you from sinning against me. That is why I did not let you touch her." Genesis 20 verse 6. God's actions reveal his deep concern for righteousness, not just in his covenant people, but in others as well. God takes measures to prevent Abimelech from sinning, demonstrating his ability to guide and protect even those who do not follow him directly. In this way, God shows his mercy and justice. God instructs Abimelech to return Sarah to Abraham and warns him that failure to do so will result in death for him and his household. This underscores the seriousness of the situation and the sanctity of marriage in God's eyes. Now return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you and you will live. But if you do not return her, you may be sure that you and all who belong to you will die. Genesis 20 verse 7. Abimelech confronts Abraham. The next morning, Abimelech immediately takes action. He gathers his officials, informs them of the situation, and confronts Abraham about the deception. Abimelech's officials are alarmed by the potential disaster they narrowly avoided. Early the next morning, Abimelech summoned all his officials, and when he told them all that had happened, they were very much afraid. Genesis 20 verse 8. Abimelech's confrontation with Abraham reveals his frustration and bewilderment. He demands an explanation for Abraham's actions, asking why Abraham would bring such danger upon him and his kingdom. Then Abimelech called Abraham in and said, "What have you done to us? How have I wronged you that you have brought such great guilt upon me and my kingdom? You have done things to me that should never be done." Genesis 20 verse 9. Abimelech's question is a moral rebuke. His words highlight the potential consequences of Abraham's deception, not just for himself but for the entire kingdom of Gerar. His ethical concerns also contrast with Abraham's fearful actions, showing that even those outside the covenant can act with integrity. Abraham's defense. Abraham defends his actions by explaining that he feared for his life because he believed the people of Gerar did not fear God. His fear led him to deceive Abimelech, even though Sarah is indeed his half-sister, as they share the same father but not the same mother. And Abraham replied, "I said to myself, there is surely no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she really is my sister, the daughter of my father though not of my mother, and she became my wife." Genesis 20 verses 11 to 12. Abraham's defense is twofold. First, he justifies his actions by his fear of danger. Second, he tries to minimize his deception by pointing out that Sarah is technically his sister. However, this explanation seems insufficient, as Abraham still misled Abimelech, leading to the potential for sin. Abimelech's generosity and God's blessing. Despite Abraham's deception, Abimelech responds with generosity and grace. He returns Sarah to Abraham and gives him livestock, servants, and land. This act of restitution demonstrates Abimelech's desire to make amends and maintain peace. Then Abimelech brought sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham, and he returned Sarah his wife to him. Genesis 20 verse 14. Abimelech's actions also reflect an ancient custom of providing gifts to make peace and restore relationships. His offer of land for Abraham to settle freely within Gerar's borders shows his desire for ongoing goodwill. Abimelech tells Sarah that he has given her brother, Abraham, 1,000 shekels of silver, a substantial sum, to cover any offense or misunderstanding. This act further restores Sarah's honor and demonstrates Abimelech's integrity. To Sarah he said, "I am giving your brother 1,000 shekels of silver. This is to cover the offense against you before all who are with you. You are completely vindicated." Genesis 20 verse 16. Abraham prays for Abimelech. In response to Abimelech's generosity and the restoration of Sarah, Abraham prays for Abimelech and his household. God heals them, lifting the infertility that had afflicted Abimelech's household as a result of the situation with Sarah. Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slaves so they could have children again, for the Lord had kept all the women in Abimelech's household from conceiving because of Abraham's wife Sarah. Genesis 20 verses 17 to 18. This final act of intercession reinforces Abraham's role as a prophet, a mediator between God and humanity. Despite Abraham's earlier deception, God remains faithful to him and answers his prayer for Abimelech. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. I hope you like this video. Thank you.